This video is to fulfill the relevance project for behavior analysis. For the project, I will be using a series of closer approximations or shaping to develop the skill of 3-ball Cascade juggling. A series of approximations have been determined through a study of juggling. Due to the nature of learning to juggle, each approximation will need to be practiced and learned in order to provide a successful end. To promote practice, reinforcers will be delivered on a variable interval of 60 seconds, meaning that on average 60 seconds of practice will lead to the receiving of the reinforcer. The reinforcers used will be Starburst jelly beans, and participants will receive 3 at the end of on average 60 seconds. Both my wife and I will be the subjects. This is being done because ever since I learned to ride a unicycle, people have asked if I could juggle, and I cannot. This project provides the perfect opportunity to apply classroom learning to a real and personal change in behavior. This video will show myself, Kedrick, and my wife, Geraldine, as we work through each progression. The first approximation is the single hand toss. The purpose is to establish body stance, which is eyes up, and tossing the ball from one hand to the other, working to throw the ball at the same height every time, and being able to catch it and control it. This is the first stage. Reinforcers are being delivered on a variable ratio of 60 seconds. The second approximation involves holding 2 balls in one hand and then throwing it up and catching it in the other hand, and then throwing the other ball and catching it in the other hand and passing them back and forth. The third approximation requires participants to hold 1 ball in each hand. The first ball is thrown into the air. As it reaches its peak, the second is thrown. The participant continues to toss the ball with alternating hands. It is important to note that the balls are caught by the same hand that threw it, and that it is advised that the starting hand is alternated. The fourth approximation requires participants to hold 1 ball in each hand. Similar to the previous approximation, the first ball is thrown into the air. As it reaches its peak, the second is thrown. However, in this approximation, the balls are caught by the opposite hand. This approximation may be known as the exchange. The fifth approximation requires participants to use all 3 balls, and in juggling terms is known as a flash. A flash is one cycle of the juggle. Participants start with 2 balls in one hand and 1 ball in the other. The hand with 2 balls throws first. As the ball reaches its peak, the other hand throws and then catches the first thrown ball. When the second ball reaches its peak, the last ball is thrown and caught by the other hand. Cascade juggling involves continually repeating the flash without interruption.
Honey, look!
Both my wife and I were able to learn to 3-ball Cascade juggle through the techniques shown in this video. Starburst jelly beans proved to be a very effective reinforcer, and I was surprised to find how much more effective a variable interval was when compared to a fixed interval. Shaping is an effective tool and can be used in many circumstances. I have taught swim lessons for many years, and the best way to help someone be a successful swimmer is to start with small steps to lead up to the desired product. Oftentimes the starting steps can seem far removed. For example, the very important starting stone of swimming is placing your face in the water and blowing bubbles. While it may be hard at times to start so far away from the goal behavior and be patient through the process, it is very important in realizing the end behavior. Do 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 do.